Hi guys, I was in bed.
We
I
were
was
just
getting into bed.
and we saw that this speech had come through from Prince Harry, which
Big speech as well.
I know that this is a massive deal, and I know that a lot of our American viewers, subs, like to know what's going on with our
Yeah.
royals. So
Hi,
we
Ali.
thought we'd give you a bit of a, because I know lots of you will have missed that this is going on, and we'd give you a bit of an insight to how people might be thinking about it.
We were watching some Ibiza madness on television when I saw the storyline. So is this the first he's spoken about it all since being
This
let
is
go by his man?
massive deal.
Right.
I'm because of the work that I do for our American followers. I'm in a show called Loose Women, which is very like The View, and we talk a lot. So we do talk a lot about everything that's going on with the royals, and I'm astonished that he's made a statement.
That's what Sarah Via says. I
Absolutely
can't believe he addressed it publicly.
astonished.
Trying to process whether I'm astonished.
Oh my God! I mean, he's okay. So let's just break it down a bit. He is at something called he was at a Sentable dinner today. Obviously a charity. Sentables? I've never heard of that. Obviously a charity very close to his heart. I think they were it was a charity very close to his mother, Princess Diana. And he starts off by saying to them, which is incredible as well, you know, God knows what you may have read and heard over the last few days, but I just wanted to clear this up from my own words. I stand here not as a duke, not as a prince, but as Harry.
This is getting Shakespearean.
I feel quite emotional.
But this is quite Shakespearean. I mean, it is quite... But can I just quickly say, I'm beginning to feel that there... What's it called when you keep doing something worse or bad after bad?
Throwing good money after bad.
Throwing good money after bad, because I feel the more and more that this carries on in the public realm and talked about in public and first spoken about in public, and he first comes out in public, a bit like, you know, him, you know, publicising the fact that he wanted to step back and all that kind of stuff. It just strikes me as the wrong way to go about it.
I don't know. I think a lot of fans will like him for this, but listen to this bit.
I want
you to hear the truth from me as much as I can share. So I think what he doesn't understand is every time he does this, now the media are going to pick this apart. What does that mean? What is the thing that you can't share? Not as a prince or duke. Many of you watched me grow up over the last 35 years, but with a clearer perspective. Yeah, supporters of Sentable. Oh, sorry.
Angie Crimmins says he's been gagged.
Well, you see, this is what I mean immediately.
Do you think
I don't think it's about being gagged.
No,
I think that there is a process.
Nadia's time limit on her phone is letting her in.
I think there is a process. There is a protocol, and the strapline for the royal family has been never complain, never explain. Now he goes to great lengths within this speech to reiterate. One of the things that he says quite interesting is, Meghan is still the woman that I fell in love with. So therefore addressing the fact that she's changed, that she's, you know, obviously, you know, but a lot of people are saying that she's forced him to make this decision. Yeah. He said this is a decision that we have discussed for months. Yeah. He actually says it leaves me feeling very sad that I have to leave the country that I love. He also says that they had hoped, very clearly he says, they had hoped to carry on serving the Queen, his military duties and something else, but this has been shown to be untenable. He said, we wanted to do all of this unpaid, but it's not been allowed, so we have to accept that. So I think that there's a lot of sadness within this speech. And he said, you've all known me well enough, you've watched me grow up, and you would know me well enough to know that I would choose a woman with the same values as me, and Meghan does have the same values as me. So again, he is sort of striking out and saying, sticking up for his wife.
But that's what I think a number of people are suggesting, is that they will undoubtedly have had to have signed a very, very complicated non-disclosure agreement with the royal family. And it feels like that, given that he is Granny Queen's grandson, he's going to bend the rules as best as he can and reveal as much as he can. I think the one point that I thought was interesting, just looking at some of the bits, I haven't read the full speech, but our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible.
I think that's really sad, because he's basically offering to work them both to work for nothing.
Because I knew that the military associations would hurt him. But a number of people are saying, why do we care? Why are we going on about it? If I'm honest, as a kind of, student of history, we are watching the royal family go through one of the biggest shifts and changes.
It is a massive thing.
And so I heard someone saying today somewhere, and I thought it was quite an interesting point, that of all the princes, more so than Prince William, Prince Harry was seen as very much the one. In fact, I think it was Nigel Farage was saying this. Prince Harry was the one considered by numbers of youngsters as bringing the royal family into the 21st century.
And he is, because this is the beginning of the end.
And in
of
a
the
sense,
royal
this
family.
is in a sense, bringing the royal family into the 21st century is about leaving the royal family. So it's intriguing. Someone else is suggesting that we know that Prince Harry struggles with mental health, and doesn't all of this chitter chatter actually contribute to it? I know what you're saying. I think the reason I'm interested is not to aggravate that at all, but to better understand how, actually share with you and comment on the fact that actually sometimes going public is the right thing and sometimes going public is the wrong thing. And I'm intrigued, because I think there is a groundswell of opinion.
What I see in this is I see a man that loves his wife.
Yeah.
And is incredibly hurt by a lot of what's being said and wants to justify. And I, on a human level, I completely and utterly get that.
Yeah.
It's like when you think about if you've ever been trolled or anybody's ever said anything nasty, or if you're on social media, I mean, we have it. There is this thing that happens where you just want to explain it to everyone, the truth. And that's just where he is, but on a massive scale.
Yeah.
Whether it will help him or not is another thing. I think it will. I think people's hearts will go out to him over this speech. I think it is out of the ordinary, but then everything he does is out of the ordinary for royalty.
Yeah. Now, I don't sign up to this idea that there's been any overt and extreme racism towards Meghan, but I do think it's easy.
There will have been some.
No, but also I think it's easy to characterise her as the troublesome one, because he was part of a firm that, to all intents and purposes, looked quite sort of normal, or at least it was united. And perhaps she brought a much-needed contemporary and exterior eye to an institution that within itself, let's look at Prince Andrew, for example, is flawed. So perhaps, the other side of looking at this is these are two young people who, in some quarters, seem to be being shot down for stepping back in a way when people are saying, you're the rich, you're the this, you're the that. They want to be plugged in. They want to feel relevant. God forbid they want to make their own money. Is that so terrible? They want to pay the money back that they've had. So what ostensibly are they doing wrong? And because I think she has to remain quiet, I understand his frustration. It's like when you were in Big Brother, one could only defend you because you couldn't defend yourself.
I feel sorry for them. Sharon Horsewood, why would you be astonished? Of course he needed to address it. The press are absolutely slaughtering him and Meghan. No, you've misunderstood me. I'm not as astonished as to why he would be feeling the way that he is. I'm just surprised, because I would have thought there had been some sort of 3-line whip from the family for him not to say anything. So I'm just surprised. I understand why he's doing it, but I'm just surprised that he actually
I'm seeing a number of comments, and I saw a number of things coming up on the PA wires already suggesting that the Queen had no prior knowledge of this speech. I think we're in another situation where Harry said something that doesn't observe the protocol of the royal family.
But he is trying to say the royal family needs to rethink itself. No, he's not. He's now a private person.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying, isn't he?
I mean, again, I was listening. I'm sorry, I don't know why I was listening to Nigel Farage.
Anne-Marie, good question.
What?
Does he have to cut all ties with the military?
He can't be the heads of various regiments and what have you. No, he can't.
Why?
Because you have to be a member of royalty. You have to be His Royal Highness. There are certain garrisons and certain units that have to have a royal household member as head of their I don't know, garrison or whatever it is. Again, I was listening to Nigel Farage. I'm not a fan at all. Don't like him, but his conversation was quite reasonable about it, and he had a number of people phoning in, and they were saying this is only going to get worse for them. The more and more they keep talking about this at the moment, I just think the whole. Why isn't the dust being allowed to settle?
I don't know, it's very
really
odd,
odd. There seems to be an urgency to all of this, and that's what I'm curious to know, is where is the urgency?
Yeah, there is this a panic.
It's like a panic, and it's like
it's like I've said it before. I think he still has, of course, with the way he lost his mother, all of that. I think he's got post-traumatic stress. I think that he's terrified the same thing could happen to his family. And we've all had that. You have a baby as well, and it makes everything about your world feel so much more fragile. And I think he must be going through a thing of like deja vu.
Yeah.
And he's wanting to take it. Like one of the things he says in his speeches, it's with great sadness that I leave everything I know, which is his country and his...
Laura D. Bays, I think they should have taken a year off to regroup. Even we get a year off when we have a baby. Yeah, both take maternity and paternity leave. Chill for a bit with all the perks. Why not chill with all the perks in Canada?
Yeah.
And then...
But that's what you said. It's like there's something else going on that we don't know.
There's definitely something else going on.
And I do worry is when they make these public statements, does that kind of like agitate it all up again?
Now, here's the big thing. Here's the big news. What I didn't realise was there's an interview in the Can that I believe could have gone out in the States. Xander Gibb, you might have referred to it a minute ago, but it's an interview with Meghan Markle's father. Channel 5 have got the rights for it over here. And I've heard excerpts from that where the father is saying that Meghan and Harry are turning the royal family into the Walmart of
dads
Britain.
like that, who do you need to... But I do think, it's like I said this the other night when we were doing a live, there's a lot been said about what the press have done to them, but actually, what her bloody family have done. I was saying this the other night, wasn't I? I mean, I remember Meghan Sparkle and all of that, and everybody was really crazy about Meghan, and then all these horrible stories from her sister, and her dad was actually what kicked all the dust up originally, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Cotton Candy, Amy, hello. Sorry if it's boring. I'd go to bed if I was you, because I was in bed a minute ago, and I was really enjoying it. So yeah, I don't know. I think I think we wanted to talk about this because the news belt is going to go absolutely ballistic for it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's an emotional speech. I don't know, for some reason you can't hear his actual voice. For some reason
it's
it's been
bits.
embargoed.
There's a small bit.
Are there? I've heard voiceovers reading it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to know. I personally, here's my take on it. I think genuinely there is something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. There's some urgency coming from somewhere. Now that could be coming from Meghan because she's like urgently wanted to live a normal life, or it could be urgently coming from Harry because he wants to protect his wife from sharing the same fate as his mother, or the urgency could be coming from the Queen wanting to get it cleared out and sorted. Did you say the Queen was out with Philip today?
Andrew.
Oh, with Andrew.
Yeah, she's been seen out with Andrew, which is bizarre because I can't remember the last time I ever saw her with Prince Andrew. Oh no, a couple of days after the terrible interview, they were out horse riding, weren't they?
Oh, Mega Chelsea 25 says yes. The urgency relates to the Andrews scandal.
Oh, the speech is on their Instagram page. Oh, do you think that's what it is? You could be right. You could be right, actually. That maybe they...
Oh, you can hear it on his Insta, yeah. This is curious. Again, I'm finding this curious the way
they're... He's just a modern guy.
What, and so they're just harnessing social media like any normal...
Like anybody else would.
I suppose it would be like the Queen texting someone or the Queen tweeting someone. That would be bloody strange. I suppose
royal.
I suppose, isn't it funny how even still at this stage it's ingrained into us Brits that you doff your cap to royalty and they don't dirty their hands with Instagrams and things like that. Oh yeah, look, 1.8 million views. Is that what's on Sussex Royal?
Yeah.
Tap it to
2
hear
hours.
It. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Yeah, so they've posted it on their own.
Before I begin, I must say that I can only imagine what you may have heard or perhaps read over the past few weeks. So, I want you to hear the truth from me, as much as I can share. Not as a prince or a duke,
That's what I
but as
said.
Harry,
Can't see it.
the same person that many of you have watched grow up over the last 35 years.
Here we go.
But now with a clearer perspective. The UK is my home and a place that I love.
As much as I can
That
say.
will never change. I've grown up feeling supported from so many of you, and I watched as you welcomed Meghan with open arms as you...
All right.
Oh,
Then,
no,
yeah.
exciting.
Oh, right. So they've embraced
They've done
IGTV.
happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. Finally, the second son of Diana got hitched. Hooray.
He doesn't.
He's
got
not
like
happy.
No, he's got quite a like annoyed face.
Second son of Diana.
Over all these years, to trust that the woman I chose as my wife upholds the same values as I do, and she does.
So we're
And
just
she's the
listening to
same
it.
woman I fell in love with. We both do everything we can to fly the flag and carry out our roles for this country with pride. Once Meghan and I were married, we were excited, we were hopeful, and we were here to
Just
serve.
reading your comments too, guys.
For those reasons, it brings me great sadness that it has come to this. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is, we're not walking away. And we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honour to serve my country and the Queen.
He does make a Chelsea
25.
Does sound angry.
You took me under your wing.
There's a hardness.
You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force.
Ooh.
And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us. It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes.
Wow. There was a hardness to his voice. Is that the end of it? There was a sort of
it's buffering.
a terseness to his voice when he said the Diana quip. That was, you know, you don't have to be
He's
emotionally
angry. You can tell he's
the
angry.
second son of
pissed off.
Diana has got hitched. You know, bearing in mind all the stress and worry that he was going to be the sort of party boy, wasn't he? He was going to forever sort of be bounding around.
I've always had such a soft spot for Harry.
Cheryl Badger, was he trying not to cry? He
It
hates
is
the press
sad,
with a
Anne-Marie,
vengeance.
you're right.
His attitude to the press, but his
you know
attitude to the
what?
press was quite jocular prior to the last 2 years. It
Yeah,
has very much changed since
because
Meghan.
you know that there is
Not because
the
of Meghan.
royal pack. So they're all the what are you called?
The sort of royal assignment. They're like royal
The allowed
correspondents.
correspondent, yeah. And you know, they said every royal engagement they've ever gone when he's gone abroad and he's done, they've always all gone out for drinks after he's taken them all to the pub
that's what
and
I've
bought
heard.
them all
And he's always
drinks.
kept eye contact with them, quite laughing, joking.
And it's just all changed. And I think he's just got really scared for her. I think that's what's happened. And
Someone else.
well, it's going to be all the bloody papers again all this week, isn't it?
Someone did say up there, so it's flown by, someone mentioned, you know, maybe they do just want to retire, and how can we let them retire? I think we should let them, everyone should let them retire, but I do think constantly fueling the press machine.
He's got to stop,
Well, stop posting it on Instagram.
I do understand why he's posting it. I do understand it.
To explain to younger people.
Because
perhaps.
he's frustrated
Yeah,
that
he's
people aren't
frustrated.
understanding it. But I think every time he does it, we're sitting here talking about it now. It stirs it all up.
I need to get back to bed though now.
Anyway.
I was in bed and I need to go back to bed.
Just
Tell
a
us
little-
all your thoughts
Just a
below
little,
after
you know,
this.
it's only for people that are interested in the royal thing. If you're not, you know, but just a little late night live treat for you
Yeah,
all.
because that's going to be the news of the week. Again.
No,
Mix it.
and for all our new, I can see there's quite a few people with names I haven't seen there. Just hit the subscribe and the notification bell because we do quite a lot of surprise lives.
Yeah.
We also do tons of other content on here. So have a look round and see if there's anything else you'd like to plug into.
Another vlog landing tomorrow and a movie review coming too. All right,
Oh,
guys.
did he? Apparently said on the documentary, if you knew what I know.
Who did?
Harry.
Harry?
Oh, God, we've got to watch that documentary. We
Which
haven't
one? The one in
watched-
Africa?
Yeah.
If you knew what I know.
I wonder what he meant.
God, I feel a bit chilling.
Maybe he's a bit of a conspiracy theorist, like a lot of people are about what happened with his mum and stuff.
Do you think he smoked a bit too much spliff?
Mark, you can't say. Of course, he's only joking. You cannot say that
Makes
about a
people
prince.
paranoid.
But
It
don't
makes
say
people paranoid.
he's. Can you just make sure we don't get sued, please?
I'm not saying he does. I'm saying maybe he could have done. You never know.
No, of course he did.
Yeah. Anyway.
Our first time live. So excited. Watch Loose Women over here in Canada every single
Oh.
morning, Nadia.
Well, lots of Canadians.
Welcome, Gail. Welcome.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have our wee prince living with you soon.
Was he Scottish?
No, I don't know why I did a Scottish
Very
accent.
strange. Nova Scotia? Like sort of
Maybe.
New Scotland? I don't know. Anyway, guys, lots of love.
No.
Sleep tight.
Sleep
I'm going
tight.
to put my pants back on. No, I'm going to take my pants off.
Oh,
Right,
all
let's not-
right, all right.
Sorry, I won't get